This is J.Mystic, thinking about you guys. So I wanted to talk about something that came to my mind. Trapped in a bad page. Trapped in a bad page. And this is your story. This is the story of your life. And I was reflecting on this and thinking, okay, if I could just quiet myself and kind of pull my energy into observing my own story, like a book. There's a book, right? And you have these different pages. And this is a love story. This is your story. This is the story that is meant for you. This is your destiny. This is your calling. And it's a wild story. It's an amazing novel. It's this abundant and dynamic story of love. And it's God's love. It's God's story. We're walking this out. But this particular video is talking about getting trapped on one page of the story. A hard page, a difficult portion of the story, which for me, I've had to look at. I've had to really go deep and be like, wow, this is a tough page in my story. And it doesn't feel so great. It doesn't feel good. It's dark and it's disappointing and it's difficult to move forward into your story, meaning to try to let go of the past. Okay, because I'm trying to live in the here and now, okay, in real time. I'm not trying to get stuck in my past. Man, because I've been through so many things this year, so many tough situations. And I know this is going to speak to somebody where it's like, for me, in my chapter, in this few pages, bad pages, like rough pages, like, wow, what are you gonna do? Like, what, like, man, when am I gonna get when is this story gonna turn out better, right? And it's difficult because for me, I can examine that page that's like really rough. I could be like, oh my gosh, and I can go really nuanced into all the details, which you should see, and you should examine, and you should learn or make peace or just be like, what can I learn from this portion of my story? But don't get trapped in that page. Don't let your heart, your soul get lost or put into prison in that page, because you got to move into the next page. When you read a story, you don't just, I mean, maybe sometimes you can be like, wow, this page has just got so much crazy stuff going on with it, right? And you could spend days, months, years holding on to that, like looking and trying to like recreate something that is not even current. It's not even in this moment. That's a past moment. It's your history. It's real, but it's not now. It's not today. It's not in the here and now. It's not real time. And for me, I have spent time in my life really living in the past. My past story, like looking back and being like, that defines me. That is who I am. That situation, that disappointment, that betrayal, that darkness, things that you really can't do anything about besides let it be part of your story. And the encouraging portion of this is your story is unfolding consistently in real time, in the present moment, today, right now. And for you to experience the fullness of the love story, which is called your life, you have to stop over-analyzing this one page and getting stuck in it. And just, you're there. Like, you're just like, like, you're so there. And you have to turn and keep reading. You got to keep reading the story called your life. You have to keep moving. How are you going to experience your love story if you get stuck on one page? How are you going to experience, because you don't know that dark page full of darkness and frustration, how do you know that that's not going to turn into this beautiful situation? Well, you're only going to know if you turn and continue reading and creating and doing the work, doing the inner work, doing the shadow work, quieting your mind, going inward, evaluating yourself, encouraging yourself, forgiving yourself, and forgiving others. It's a refining process that literally makes an impact in the continuation of your story. And possibly one day will, when I say possibly, it sure will impact others when you tell your story, when you tell people your experiences, when you speak like I'm speaking now, like hardships, pain, like tough times, man, dark pages that feel like death, feel like dying to yourself, dying to your own wants and desires, your ideas, controlling things, like control, like I need to focus more and more, and I got to continue. No, what you have to do is let go. You have to let go, and you have to trust, and you have to You have to continue moving into your story, which is happening every day. Every day it's happening. And I have felt depression. I know what depression feels like. I know what overanalyzing something that happened in the past, I can't do anything about it. If it's out of my control, I can't do anything about it. But if it's in my control, I could do something about it. Both things happen in the present moment. It does. And some things you just have to let play out. You have to create space and trust. Trust that your story is moving towards a happy ending. A love story. Like, get excited about it. Be like, oh man, this book called your life is wild. It's wild. It's full of life and freedom and ups and downs and it's spicy. It's a spicy life. I made some notes. Remember, I was talking about structure, trying to work on the structure. Yeah. Don't get trapped on a bad page in the story of your life that's ever unfolding. Move forward with your story. Move forward with your story. Yes, there are dark pages in our journey that come to block our steps forward in our love story, the unfolding of the love story. We have to get rid of the blockages that are causing us to get stuck. Low vibrations, man. I mean, there are pages in our life that seem to be resonating or vibrating at a very low frequency. And what that does is that blocks our hearts. We got to open up our hearts, man. We have to open up our hearts, because during these dark pages of our life, we want to close and protect, because it doesn't feel good when things aren't going well. And it definitely doesn't feel good when we soak in those blockages. And it takes a lot of courage and a lot of faith to not close up and fall into a prison, which is not freedom. It's actually the very opposite of freedom. Being stuck in an old page of our life while things are moving forward around you, things are moving forward. Flowers are growing. Nighttime comes, morning comes, everything's moving, everything's vibrant, everything is constantly moving forward and unfolding. But if I let myself get stuck in a prison of thought where I'm not good enough, I messed up, I really messed up, or I'm never going to be good enough. This story is never going to be a good story. Like I'm waiting for the good chapters to show up. Like right? But and there will be good chapters. There will be good, happy, fulfilled, prosperous, energetically beautiful, amazing things to read in your life. But how are we supposed to fully be present to experience those things if we're stuck in the past, looking and just soaking and just constantly being obsessive about where we went wrong? Dude, we're all messing up. Every day, I know I can do better. I know that I can be a better person. I know that I have to put the work in to myself. How do I do that? I have to not beat the shit out of myself. I have to be like, hey, it's okay. I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. And thank goodness that, you know, I have a relationship with the divine, with spirit, because I have to go inward. I have to go into the inner courts to remember that I'm covered, man. I am protected. No matter what happens in my life, I know where to go. And it's not something that I can do on my own. I have to strive to enter into his rest. Striving is letting go of that obsessive, like, just the mind just attacking, you know, addictions. Like, you'll never break this addiction. Dude, I've had addictions. We all have some kind of addiction. No judgment here, man. No judgment. I feel that. No judgment. Like, I'm not measuring my addictions with somebody else's addictions. It doesn't matter if one's worse than the other. We all have this common experience, man, of like not being good enough. At times we feel like we're not good enough. And that's a very humbling thing, because my ego wants to think I got all my shit together, man. I got it all together. Everything's together. I mean, I just headstrong, you know, like, I don't. And because I'm humbled, and because I come from a place of what do you call it? Being humble, being responsive, of knowing that I can do better. I still have room to grow. And I stay there. I want to grow. I want to continually grow. I want to flourish. I want to grow. I want to move forward. I want to learn from my mistakes. I want to continue on my story. And I want to read it. And, you know, I might go back to an old chapter and be like, man, look where I was. Look what, you know, I can go back and just look out of a place of, like, love. Like, man, I really, I really did some things there that just, but wow, look where it brought me. Look where it brought me. Out of those tough places, man, that's the fire. That's the sharpening of your sword. That's where you become a better version of yourself. Some things need to go into the fire. You have to feel pain. You got to feel hurt. You got to experience tough situations in your life to become stronger. And I know some people out there are going to be like, well, no, you don't have to feel everything. You don't have to feel that. You don't have to feel that. You don't have to feel pain, and you don't have to feel, disappointment and, addictions and stuff like that, Okay, that's cool. No judgment. Like no, you don't have to feel that. It happens though. I would say do feel it. Feel it. Really feel it. But then have grace on yourself. Have love. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself, man. And tell yourself that, man, I love myself. I love myself to not do that again. Or I love myself to not be that version of myself. Because that's not the version of you. That was the version you were 5 minutes ago. But we have a decision in every moment to expand into love. Unconditional love. And I love myself unconditionally. I'm not perfect, but I'm getting better. I'm getting better. I'm getting better every day. Every day I'm getting stronger and better, because when you go work out at the gym, like I just started working out, right? I'm getting better, getting stronger. I'm getting healthier. It's possible, guys. But I'm making this video to say, don't get stuck on that old page. Your story is unfolding. And you get to decide if it's going to be a beautiful story in every moment. Every decision that you make, no matter if it's tough, hard, if you're doing something you don't even want to do, that you're not passionate about, you have choices. And let's say you can't go do the thing that you love, right? Let's say you have a job that you just absolutely hate. Like there's no passion in that job. Well, you can decide inside to say, even though I don't like what I'm doing right now, I'm going to find something to be thankful for here. I'm thankful. I have gratitude. I am thankful that I have a job. I am thankful that I have, something to do. I'm thankful that somebody is giving me a responsibility because they trust me, or they can rely on me. And you can go more nuanced into it, right? Now, as you're going through this chapter or going through this story, this love story called your life, you can meditate, you can manifest what you want, you can desire in your heart and get clear on your intentions of what you really would like to do. And maybe you don't know what you want to do, right? That's cool too, because if you don't know what you want to do, well, you might know tomorrow, right? And then tomorrow you might be like, I want to be this or I want to be that, and you move towards that. Energy moves towards whatever your intention is. You know, as a man thinketh, so is he. If you focus on what you desire, consistently, it will happen. And it may not happen like right away, and maybe it will. It could be whatever. It can happen however it's going to happen. But the first thing is you have to give it your attention, your energy, your focus. And you have to believe that it's possible. I believe it's possible. I believe that miracles happen. Every day miracles are happening. Right now, a miracle is happening. I'm breathing. I'm speaking. I'm talking. I am here. You know, this is a miracle, man. And I didn't earn it. I didn't earn it. It's just here. So, yes, there are dark pages in our journey that come to block our steps forward in the unfolding of our love story. And there is no freedom in living in a dark and old page or chapter. Is it part of our story? Yes, of course it is. But we need to be up to date in ourselves. We have to be in that sweet spot. Real time, here and now, like boom. You know, you got to be here and now and decide what you want. What are you going after? What are you believing in? What are you not believing in? But we do have to be quiet, and we do have to create space to self-reflect. That's okay. There is a time and a space and a need to self-reflect on old pages of our story to help us gain clarity on what we want and where we want to go moving forward. Because these are tools. You know, and some tools are needed in our toolbox. So I'll just leave you with that thought. We need to try to not drag. When I say try, there is no try. Let me fix that. As Yoda said, do or do not. There is no try. This is a good wisdom from Star Wars. Don't drag your past experiences into your future story. Because they're not going to work with the new version of who you are. It's like old technology, man. Like, you know, you can't use old technology when you've changed and you're this more advanced, more conscious, more spiritual, more aware, divine being. Because we are taking in information 24/7. And so why would you use old information in a newer version of yourself? It's old technology. I like to call it old technology. And sometimes there's a lot of wisdom in looking in the past and being like, man, that technology was really good. It was good technology then, and it got me to where I am now. But it's not, that technology is not going to advance me forward, right? Because this is an ever unfolding realization that you are a spiritual being. And we are unlocking new DNA, new knowledge, new wisdom that you already have inside of you. And we have to let go of the familiar. Unfortunately, we have to die to what we know all the time, including me. We have to die to what we think we know, to create space for new understanding, for new technology, for new wisdom, for new understanding. This is why it's very, very good to just create space to quiet. This is why meditation, quieting your mind, breathing, not letting the mind become your master. Somebody said, the mind is a poor master, but a great servant. It's supposed to serve you. You're supposed to have dominion over this, over the mind. This is a tool. This is meant to be utilized. It's not supposed to master over you. We're supposed to have a sound mind. Not a spirit of fear, but a sound mind. We're supposed to be free and not bound. Have faith in your divine purpose and your story. Have faith. Have faith that everything is working out for your good. I don't know who this is going to speak to. I just know for me, I'm living in the present moment. And I have to trust that everything is working out divinely and it's perfect timing. And I know that can be painful. I know that can hurt. I know that can be a place where you're asking, why is this happening? Why am I going through this? Why? Because your love story is going to be a bestseller. It's going to be so impactful for somebody. And through this, I'm working on my own throat chakra. I'm learning to speak. Speak what's in my heart, man. Whatever it is. And it's The power is in the tongue. You have all authority to speak out whatever it is that you are feeling, whatever your conviction is. Also, I'm getting this inkling here, which I was going to do a different video at some point, but don't let anybody steal your mustard seed of faith. Don't let anybody take that little bit, that little tiny, tiny bit of faith that you have. And they can't, by the way. They can't. They can't take it. You can put it on the shelf, right? You cannot utilize it. You can ignore it, right? But it's in you, and you have it. You have the ability to tap into it and to initiate power through your faith that it is possible. Because if you have just that smallest bit of faith, you can move mountains, man. That's all you need. All you need is that little bit of faith, right? So I encourage everybody to take that off the shelf, open up your heart, open up your spirit, connect with God, and ignite that faith. Put some gasoline on that, man. Light it up. Light it up and let's roll. Believe. Believe that this is all working out. And it is. Perfectly, by the way. Perfectly. So we should strive to enter into his rest and believe that all of this is working for your benefit. Because it is. It may not feel good. It may not feel good. But that's just a feeling. That's just a feeling, man. Giving birth doesn't feel good, right? I don't know. I'm a guy. I birth spiritual things all the time, but I physically, to be like a good analogy, like, dude, there's birth pains, man. There's birth pains. So if you're going through something right now and you're feeling it in your spirit body, like you're just like in your being of beings, you're getting ready to manifest. You're getting ready to manifest. You're getting ready for extreme change. You're getting ready to break a old pattern. You're getting ready to level up, to shift paradigms. You're getting ready to give birth, man. To what? Good things. I know that. You're getting ready. And listen, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. You're going to give birth. You're going to give birth, and your life is going to change. And by the way, you have to let go of the past. You got to let go of the past, man. You got to defend your space. You got to have your spiritual, you got to do spiritual warfare sometimes. Now, I'm not saying you have to fight it. I'm just saying you got to like have boundaries. Like, I'm not doing that. I'm not letting that affect my story. Everybody has choice. And even even that is an idea that, like, nobody's gonna mess up the story. They're not. Because it's a divine story. If it's meant to happen, it will happen. I believe that. I have faith that all things work together for good. And I believe in the author and the finisher of all things, man. And there ain't nobody's gonna convince me that, you know, there ain't no higher spiritual guidance going on here. I know there is, in fact. I 100%. I'm tapped in, turned on, man. Right? So, anyway, I hope this encourages somebody. I just want you to know that if you feel stuck analyzing an old page of your life, this love story, you can let it go, man. You can let it go. Come back into yourself and breathe. Enter into peace, man. Freedom. Like it's all okay. It's all working out perfectly. Get that little bit of, take that mustard seed of faith off the shelf, put it in your heart, and say, I surrender, and I trust, and I believe, and I'm moving forward in this love story. Love you guys. Have a good day.